So today we're going to do 6.10, which is about equations of circles. So let's talk about standard form. Standard form of the equation of a circle is parentheses x minus h squared plus parentheses y minus k squared equals r squared. So this helps us, gives us information about the circle because h and k, well, the coordinate point hk is the center of the circle, and then hopefully you have figured out that r is the radius. All right. Let's notice something, and we've done this a few times. You may not remember from last year, point slope form, vertex form of a quadratic, that you have to observe these minuses. So it's minus h and k. So h and k, therefore, are going to be the opposite of whatever the sign in the parentheses is. So let's look at this one. Now, what if the center was at the origin, at 0, 0? You wouldn't write x minus 0 and y minus 0. So if the center's at the origin, then it would just be x squared plus y squared equals r squared. That would be an easy one. All right, let's look at this one. It says that x plus 4, y minus 2 equals 25. So, first of all, what's the radius? If r squared is 25, wouldn't the square root of 25 be my radius? So my radius is 5. The center is negative 4, 2. Because remember, if this is minus h, it would have to be minus a negative 4 to become plus. So let's graph this. We have negative 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And then our radius is 5. So couldn't we just count out 5 on all sides of this center and then draw our circle? I know mine's not great, but close enough. So from the standard form of the equation of the circle, we were able to get information and graph it. So let's do the same thing on this one. X minus 7 plus y, y minus nothing, equals 4. So what's the radius? Square root of 4 is 2, so the radius is 2. What's the center? Well, the opposite of negative 7 is positive 7, and this must be 0 because y, there's nothing there. So let's plot our center at 2, 4, 6, 7, 0, and then go out. Don't know what I was doing. Go out 2 each direction and draw the circle. All right, let's grab some information here. What's the center of this circle? Well, we've got a positive 7 and a negative 2. So the center is negative 7, positive 2. And then we have square root of 324 because r squared is 324. Take the square root of it, and the radius is 18. What about this one? There's nothing here. There's a plus 10 here. So your center is 0, negative 10. And then your radius is going to be the square root of 42.25. So you're just going to put that in your calculator, and you're going to get that the radius is 6.5. But it does not ask me for radius this time. It asks me for diameter. So we're going to double the 6.5 and get 13. So what other information can we get? Here, let's look for our center. Our center must be 3, 0. And then radius squared is 32. So what's the radius? We do square root of 32, which is, we're going to round to like 5.66. But it didn't ask us for the radius or the diameter. It asked us for the circumference, which is 2 pi r. So let's do, in your calculator, 2 times pi times 5.66, and you would get 35.56. And then what about the area? Isn't that pi r squared? So we're going to do 5.66 squared times pi. It's going to get us 100.64. Now what if they ask you to leave your answer in terms of pi? Sometimes they'll do that, and I've noticed that confuses some of you. So if you were to leave this answer in terms of pi, instead of multiplying the pi, you'd just multiply 2 times r, 5.66 times 2, 11.32, and you'd put the pi. So you could also, if it asked for your answer in terms of pi, you'd just put 11.32 pi. What if it asked you for area in terms of pi? You'd go 5.66 squared in your calculator, and you'd get 32.04 roughly pi. You'd just do the radius squared and not put the pi in the calculator. All right, let's write some equations. So, once again, standard form, let's just have it up here where we can access it easily. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Once again, hk is the center and r is the radius. Okay, write the equation in standard form. So, here's our center. Here's our radius. So I'm going to go x minus -1. Minus a negative becomes a positive, or you can just know that you need to flip it. Change the sign like I did here. Y minus 7, and that equals 14 squared because I have to square the radius. 196. All right, this one, I'm just going to put x squared because instead of x plus 0, plus y minus 9 squared equals, don't square 32. This is your diameter. If the diameter's 32, we have to half it to get the radius. Then we square the radius and we get 256. So be careful, pay close attention to what information they give you. Now they gave me the circumference in terms of pi, and I have to write the equation. Well, I've got the center, so I'm going to go x plus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared. Because I know my center, and I'm going to do the opposite, equals, I need the radius. Okay, one way to write circumference is pi d, so 6 must be the diameter. Therefore, the radius is 3. 3 squared is 9. So be very careful with your pieces and what you're doing. Right here, x plus 8 squared plus y plus 11 squared equals, all right, pi r squared is 16 pi. So that means r squared is 16. Do I need to square root it and then square it again? How about I just put it there because that's what r squared is. Now, just for fun, what is the radius? Square root of 16 is 4. And one more thing, we're going to write the equation from the graph. So first, let's find the center. So we've got, it goes over here and over here. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The diameter is 10. Therefore, the radius is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from every side is my center. So the center is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 2. And the radius is 5. So let's write that equation. X minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals, what did we say the radius was? 5. 5 squared is 25. Let's try this one. From the top to the bottom, or you could do side to side, it doesn't matter. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So the diameter is 14. That means the radius is 7. Let's count to the middle. This should be 7 from every side, and that's your center. So the center is, I kind of missed there, negative 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's write our equation. X plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 49 because I did 7 squared. So that's how you write equations of circles and gather information from equations.